Hello, my name is Mike, and today I'm going to show you how I circuit bend a toy camera to create some very cool, glitched, and distorted visuals. It's a little tricky, but super fun, and the results are totally worth it. But first, let's talk about what circuit bending actually is and why would you want to do this to a camera in the first place. I like to describe circuit bending as creative short-circuiting. It's connecting parts of the circuit that were never really intended to be connected in the first place. In audio gear, this usually means wild, distorted sounds. But in a digital toy camera like this, it gives us twisted colors, distorted patterns, and some truly psychedelic visuals. Okay, here's what you'll need for this project. Okay, I got the camera all open and taped down in front of the microscope. Hopefully the camera has a good shot here. The lens is pointing over here to the corner of my shop. You can see my hand here. And we are looking at the connector, the ribbon cable connector right here that connects to this image sensor. So we're going to just kind of poke around with just basically just connecting two neighboring pins and seeing what we find on this screen. So there's a little bit of dimming right there. Oh, there we go. There's the whole full like matrix green. Okay, so looks like pins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 we're connecting right now. Okay, we're going to prep our wire as the soldering iron heats up. This is the 28 gauge magnet wire that's inside of a speaker's coil. This is basically what makes the electromagnet inside of a speaker. So I'm just going to take about, I don't know, 3-4 inches or so. And then the red coating is a non-conductive coating, but it's so thin you really can't strip it. So I found it's better just to try to burn it away. I don't know. This is how I've been doing it. That's probably about enough right there. Okay, so now we've got that. Use some tweezers to kind of hold it in place. And our soldering iron is now hot. We're gonna, what I call tin the tip, or prep the tip here. By just applying heat, we're gonna first try to heat it up, which is kind of hard with a thin tip on a thin wire. You really have to get the tip right on it. It's pretty hard. So you have to hold the wire, make sure the wire is held in place pretty well. Probably should have done something better, but let's just try that. Okay, so we're going to try to heat up the wire first without any solder. Try to get it hot, so then when we apply that solder, it actually sticks. And it's okay if more of that red coating melts away, and it's okay if we get too much. There we go. I'm just going to try to move it back and forth. Coat it in silver there. Once it's coated, we know it's good. And it's obviously like way too much. We're not going to use that. We're going to trim that back, but that'll work. So Now I can just trim that back. We only need a little bit, so back to about that. I don't know if that's showing up on camera, but I'll give a close-up. So that's prepped for the other side, and now I just basically need to do the other end for the switch or the potentiometer side. But this side we won't have to cut back, and we can leave more solder on this side because it's going to a much bigger connection. Okay, now I'm gonna apply the flux to both. I don't think I really need to do it to this wire, but I feel like it kind of helps. I don't know. I mean, technically the solder I think is supposed to have the flux in there, but whatever. I just basically mop this whole connector. And it's not like it really is going to stick it in place, but it does help it slightly not bounce around. So I'm going to get my little tweezers here. I have a few different types I'm going to try. And then try to get this in place. This is the tricky part and frustrating part. And alright, so I'm going to go for pin 6. That's 3, 4, 5, and 6. I haven't really used this microscope, so this is new. Okay, let me try these other tweezers. Whew. That's what we want. It's so hard to let go and grab the iron. Okay, go. Oh, it's not going to zip. I'm going to mess it up. Alright, back on here. Ah. Right. Oh, I fused them together. I gotta take it off. That felt pretty good, but now I gotta release the tweezers without ripping the braid. Oh, that did not do good. That feels like it's gonna come off when I touch it. Yep, it's coming off. Okay. Just hold it in place here and see if I can get it heated back on. Alright. Okay. So now that I've got one wire attached, I need to make sure it still works without any glitch points. Gotta hit the top button for which is buried. Okay, and it does not look glitched, which is what we want because we only have one wire attached. So now I'm gonna kind of hold this in place. I think I don't want to bend. Oh, don't want to bend that around too much. So I'm gonna kind of try to bend it straight down against the board there. So now we can try to attach our second point, which is going to be the one right next to it. So we are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I want to attach one to 7, which is going to be hard. So instead of attaching it in the same direction this way, I'm going to attach it at 90 degrees this way. Oh, I'm not gonna Just more solder on this wire. Alright, well this definitely shows how hard this can be sometimes. So I'm just gonna heat this up to replace some solder. Doesn't take much. Not very too much, but we'll see. So try to go off here. Oh, looks like it's showing already. I can already tell it's touching the side of the rate pin. I'll try to draw some of that solder out. Ah, it worse. Oh my god, see now I really messed it up. That does not look good. And did not feel good. Let's turn it on. It's probably going to be glitched. To turn on, we gotta hit the top button again, which is a pain in the butt like this. Yeah, it's glitched. Which is what I mean, if that's what you want, but I want it to be not glitched. I'll be able to have the option to not glitch. So now we're gonna have to use the solder wick. Oh, they're right there. It's hard. What's going on? Alright, let's just try the wick again. I think I've just been doing it kind of light because I'm trying to not mess up with that first wire, but unfortunately, it seems like if you don't get it on the first try, it's kind of hard. Dang, it's still in there. It's like really... Oh, there we go. That worked. So we're no longer glitched, and we have two wires attached. Oh my god, so shaky. Well, oh, it's hard. There, that's right where I want it, right there. Oh, that looked good. That felt good too. All right. That felt good. Put the jump there and dry, and then make it come back and sit down a little more. That's good. Okay, I see what's going on. It looks like I put too much hot glue and it is not allowing it to go down. So that was a little mistake on my end. And to be honest, I just realized I soldered on the opposite side I normally solder onto. That is what's causing this problem. I normally solder onto this side. These cameras are have two different cameras, a front and a rear, and there's a connector on the front. They are parallel, it seems, because the bends always work for both cameras. But when I had it open, I didn't realize. Okay, so my fix for this is I'm just going to shave down that hot glue, hopefully enough so I can get that to close. Now placement of our controls. with these cameras, they have this nice little hand area, that little pocket that's good for the controls, but you do have to cut out some, well, you don't actually have to, I guess. I just have a habit of doing it, so I'm going to still do it, just to give myself more room. I guess you probably don't even need to do this now that I think about it, but it's easy enough. Alright, so the only thing you want to be aware of is there is this power switch up near the top. So you can't put this switch up here if you get too high. The post will hit that, so I always put the switch at the bottom and then the knob at the top. So you just want to make sure you can get it in there placed right. So I'm going to just basically mark the center of the switch there. And then it's going to be kind of hard. There's a little bump in there on this one. Let's see if we can cut that out of there to make a better drill spot. Okay. And then just centered in there, so right about there. And then if the switch is there, the knob is going to be up there. We kind of want to push it as high as possible, kind of between these two, kind of right where that other knob is. So basically right there. Okay. So those are going to be our two locations, there and there. Let's get those drilled out. Now I'm going to wire up the controls. How I'm going to do this is, let's see, I think we're going to go pins 6, 11, 7, 6, and 1. So 6 is the only one that has 2. It's the sharing. So let's start with 6 there, which I already have it prepped. I've already prepped all the wires with little labels. Highly suggest that because you will not remember what is what once you get going here. Also, some tweezers are helpful for getting into these tight places. Everything has been tinned and prepped, so you don't need to add any more solder. You just heat it up and it will stick in place. What do we got there? Top 6. Let's put it to this bottom one, or top. Actually bottom because we're upside down. Okay, 7. Actually, let's go 11 first because we'll be in the center. Then 7. And then our final one is 1. This one's a little short because I had to trim it down to get it. I had to re-prep the wire, so I'm going to have to kind of get it close to get that one. Oh, it's just barely going to reach. We still have to get the camera sensor in there, so I'm going to do that first because that's going to be pretty hard to do. Got to get a screw down in there. Probably blocking view of the camera, but I can't really do this any other way. Alright, I'm just going to put one screw in. Many times they come with only one screw, so that's fine. And I'm also going to try to, I guess, sneak the mic back in there. Or I'm sorry, the speaker. That's the speaker. And then let's get the battery stuck back down with the stickies it had on it. Before we get too far here. Okay. Alright, so that's our last one. Let me just do a quick little recap while I have it open, because once I get this number 1 in, it's short. I won't be able to really see what we're talking about here. So again, we're going to go, this wire pin 1 is going to go to the center of that switch. So that switch will connect pin 1 and 6. This potentiometer has 6 on one side, 11 in the center, and 7 on the other side. So that potentiometer will control 2 different bends. All the way one way will be one, all the way the other will be the other, and then the switch will just be an on-off for a 3rd bend. Alright, so now let's try to get this in there. Okay, just barely reaches. And let's close it up there. And before I screw it all together, let's just quickly test it out. So switch is off and potentiometer in the center, then both bends should be off. And okay, no glitches, that's a good sign. Ooh. It is not engaging a switch. What about that one? Okay, we got that one. And that one. Okay. So the potentiometer is working. Something about the switch is not. I have a feeling it's that pin 1. I just added this little bit of extension wire, just a little piece of ribbon cable. Actually solder is way easier than trying to solder 2 pieces of magnet wire together. I re-tinned that, and then now I'm just going to reconnect this to that switch and retest. And now it's much easier. Now it's a little bit longer. Oops, kind of overheated that. Alright, so now switch is off. Okay, so now we're back to no glitch, and we turn the switch on. There we go, that's what I was looking for, that purple screen. So we got the purple on the switch, green with lines one way, and then the kind of pastel with the lines and static, and then together. Alright, so now we can close it up and we're just about done. And that is how I circuit bend these toy cameras. If you felt this video was inspiring or helpful in any way, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button below. It'll help me and the channel. Alternatively, if you don't want to build one yourself, you can buy one from me in my Etsy shop. I do have multiple for sale. And all the ones I have for sale have twice the controls as the one, at least twice the controls as the one we built today. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.